Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 68 of the Great Pendragon campaign. I'm your intrepid host, Eric. Find me in everywhere on this channel. Thanks for coming. With me are my two illustrious companions, Jim and Colin. Hope you two are doing well.
Doing great, doing great. I'm now imagining the worst times I've had in airports,
Yeah.
based on what we're just talking about, and
Yeah.
doing good though. I'm overall doing good.
Want to hear that?
Is it weird to be one of the people who's like, I kind of like airports?
That makes you a
Traveling by
neoliberal.
myself, I love airports.
What?
That makes you a
I'm traveling by
neoliberal.
myself.
No, I will fucking kill you, Eric.
It does. That's the goal.
I don't see.
The world will be one unified airport.
No, you didn't even let me say why I like airports. The answer to why I like airports is specifically airports in those liminal hours where people aren't normally up. Like when you have a layover at like 5 a.m. in Atlanta, and it's like there's really no one there, but there's still spaces kind of open for people, and you just get this weird. It's like Nighthawks. That's what it is. It's like the living experience of the feeling you get looking at the Nighthawks painting. That's what I get in airports.
I've had that feeling before. I know what you mean.
Okay.
An airport completely changed.
Christ, Eric.
18-month-old.
It is. It is. Okay. Well, sure. My case is that airports are largely they're liminal spaces. You're not supposed to like really be around. You're supposed to have a purpose, and you're supposed to basically have a million ways that you can spend money on overpriced water and bullshit. And they don't want you there, right? They're comfortable, but also like, yeah, but you're not supposed to be here. Like that's the don't get too comfortable is the airport mantra, right?
Fair. I get that, but part of the joy for me is being someplace where they don't want me there, but they also can't make me leave. So.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, no, that's especially when you were talking about being there super early or like really late, and that weird time of like,
it's like it's 5
you can't get rid of me.
12.
Yeah,
5:12. I'm gonna get a churro and lay across a bunch of seats, right? And they make them individual seats because they don't want people laying across them. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great. I love that.
There are so many good things for that. Also, like you can get a burger anytime and no one judges you.
How frequently do people judge you for getting a burger?
No, wherever I've lived.
I've been judged. I will get okay. That's right. There's a few hills I die on. There's a few hills I die on, and I think a burger, just a genuine, not even an egg on it, just a genuine burger is a breakfast food. It's great. It's an anytime food. Oh yeah, but it's great.
Okay, yeah.
All right. I agree. Yeah, my favorite restaurant has a breakfast burger. So
yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like I go further than just breakfast burger, but literally just a burger is a breakfast food. Just ground beef patty.
People have
like a smash
steak for breakfast, right?
Yeah,
like beef is entirely acceptable as a breakfast.
Yeah. My weird East Coast sentimentality is also that scrapple is good. I don't know. Probably
scrapple grits. Yeah. I mean, there's just some foods that are kind of regional.
Sweet butter
quality
pickles.
Isn't.
Oh yeah. Blumenthal restaurant, full English breakfast.
Mm-hmm.
The way Lauren immediately went Heathrow, Terminal 2, Heston Blumenthal restaurant, full English. There is a visceral memory tied to that.
Yeah.
All right.
That's the same cadence that I think Christopher Walken has when he's explaining to Bruce Willis's character where he got the watch.
Yeah. I think that's true. Okay. Despite our joys and our bantering, I also have a poem for us before we begin.
Ooh.
From the Fairy Queen. It says, "Lo, I, the man whose muse whilome did mask, as time her taught in lowly shepherd's weeds, am now enforced a far unfitter task, for trumpets stern to change mine oaten reeds, and sing of knights and ladies' gentle deeds, whose praises having slept in silence long, me all too mean the sacred muse reads, to blazon broad amongst her learned throng, Fierce wars and faithful loves shall moralize my song. So we're going to be doing some stuff today. We're opening today's session on a raid on Chalderton. Saxons have come at you, my friend.
Yeah. All right.
So we are doing the raid mechanics, not Raid Shadow Legends mechanics, though the original raid mechanics.
Good.
So you'll be rolling 3 different things. You're rolling Siege, followed by Valorous, followed by Sword. Any success you get, you can go ahead and check. Crits give you glory. And if you fail, then we're going to roll on the pain die and see what happens.
3, 5, 6.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Gee, I thought I was ready to play, but I don't think that I was.
You showed up in
Davis,
your...
Did you remember to bring your textbook to class? Or did you leave it under
you're
your
here.
desk again?
You're here, and your mic was set up, ready to go.
That's true. All right, here we go. Valorous.
Show me Valorous.
Valorous. Oh, this, and you know, this is probably during the time where like they're moving out of Childerton. What a great time for these recalcitrant
Sword. Yeah.
Nice.
This is not me.
And this is Chalderton itself, not one of the other manors.
Correct. This is Chalderton itself.
Just a minute, I opened up the wrong character sheet.
All good.
Not only was he late, but he had butterfingers. All right. Valorous.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Check Valorous.
You're 20 Valorous?
Yeah. He's in get himself in some trouble territory with Valor.
Yeah.
That is, I don't know how I missed that. That's awesome.
An Obolot, in fact, it's like, you know, you're leading the way, and I think just you unquestionably have been calling people to service, and like Obolot's like, oh my god, you're nuts, kind of thing, right? Like your squire just sees you like Leroy Jenkins, grab the mace off the mantle and just go.
Right. He's just out there in his bedclothes.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, yeah. Oh wait, is that my?
Did you add your defensive value?
I did not.
So that's a pass.
Defensive value, so that is a pass.
Yeah, check your siege. Yeah,
I think I forgot that last time. And then sword.
Yeah. Lovely. Okay, so
see it. Love to see a successful
15.
defense.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, so you're going to not suffer any sort of like terrible losses or anything of that kind of matter, nor are you hurt. However, as a consequence from the raid here, your squire Obolot mentions that during the fight they lost a bronze necklace dating back to the Roman times, a family heirloom of theirs.
Oh.
And Sweeterun doesn't know these Saxons, by the way. This isn't just like her brother again. You know what I mean?
Right.
These are different guys.
I figured we settled the thing with their brother.
Yeah, exactly. These aren't from Wessex. These are, I don't know, actually, maybe like a roll to kind of determine.
Recognize or
probably recognize.
Been around long enough to have regulars.
I mean, you're not going to know like this is the Ashulda clan of the, you know, whatever, but you're gonna enough to know that like this is. Yeah.
I kind of like the idea of like certain Saxons becoming regulars in Salisbury. It's just like, you know, they'll kill a couple of peasants, but they don't cause too much fuss. They only carry off like a couple of sheep. And it's like, you don't like it when they're there, but there could be much worse raiders.
Yeah. The raiders you know are better than the raiders you don't, believe me.
Yeah. Listen, they keep us on our toes, you know, like if they weren't there, you know, half the reason we're here is not justified. I have a domestic thing I got to handle real quick.
So, no problem.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, you're fine. All right. So Oblot's doing fine with that. Aeswin, you are fortunate enough. So we're gonna zoom in on you. You're on patrol with a party of knights, sort of like, you know, on the borders here. You're on the eastern border of Salisbury. So again, that's like the Duplan kind of, you know, Harewood kind of area. When you spot a rather interesting convoy or like caravan coming over from Camelot area. So your knights, you're not kind of like in charge of this one, sort of like you're part of like Duplan's group over there, right? And you head over, and what you find is you find someone on a magnificent horse, kind of like talking to and wearing like a very, very, very well floral embossed kind of rider's tunic. Their retinue all have like sharper helms than you've seen. They're not Saxons, and they're not here.
They're not as in like not Cymric or not
Cymric, sorry. Okay. Not Cymric, Logris, Pictish. They're from the mainland somewhere, right? They're not even French. They're not even French, right? They're not. Also, they're not. I'm forgetting the name of it, but not Warani and the other guys. I forget.
I got
from
you.
North Africa. I forget the name of it. Sorry. Neither of those. They look like Rome, only a little different. So this whole retinue is over here, and they're like kind of staring up over at Winchester Castle, right? Otherwise, will be known as Camelot. And there's a knight that you do recognize, and it's sort of why I bring this to your attention. It is Sir Tristan. You have known from Arthur's retinue.
Yeah.
He's kind of like talking and pointing out to them. So you're gonna ride over, and Sir Tristan then is folks like, oh no, that's okay, they're cool, kind of thing to him.
Yeah, I think because it's those were good times. Yeah. With the big army of Logres, those were good times, fond memories. I think Aeswin is like kind of eager, and it's like, oh, like Tristan, cool. I haven't seen this guy in forever, right? And is gonna like, I don't know if it's proper, but like spur her horse
Tristan
ahead to like.
And the reason why you know Tristan is because Tristan hangs out in Cornwall a lot, so he's kind of like friends with Mark, and that's like that kind of side of things. So anyways, yeah, he's over there, and he comes over, and he's like, so he joins, he lets the other guest, this posh eccentric kind of fellow, wearing the, again, like completely just gilded clothes, florlets, traveling. Their stallion is probably one of the prettiest traveling horses you've ever seen.
Braided horsehair.
Yeah, exactly. Like, no, exactly. All of his like honor guard with him here all look the same. And as far as like long spear, like, yeah, just like long spears, like they kind of fight like you would. However, just there's some about them, their styles, their differences, their presence, their smells. They're different than you. Yeah. So Sir Tristan comes over to the group. It's like, hey, hail everyone. Aeswin. And for purposes of role play, let's assume that you're the one talking to them, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Well met, Tristan. Yeah. Tell me of your companions, so oddly fine.
Yeah. Well, as luck would have it, I've been following them since London. That over there, the tall one, pointing to the most regal-looking one there, Sir Sagramore of Byzantium.
Distant Byzantium.
Nephew to the Emperor himself.
Nephew to the Emperor himself. Not all strange things are unwelcome in Salisbury, Tristan.
Indeed. We're just admiring. He stopped and he could not take his eye off of this old ruin, admiring it. So I was indulging him. Perhaps you could say a few words about it? I'll introduce you.
Gladly.
Yeah.
Is this something Colin should remember, or is this?
No, we never really talked about it, but like Camelot's literally an old ass ruin, right? It's Winchester Castle. It's a giant ruin. It's on a prominent hill. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it coming up with Gareth when he heard the prediction in the Fey Woods, and I remember knowing enough to be like, it's like, well, it's bumfuck Camelot. No one goes there,
right? Yeah. Oh, exactly. There's not really like much else to know, but it's a good way to like, here's your in, right? And you can describe what your character would know to him, and then like he's kind of just admiring sort of what you know. So perhaps like if you want to, like maybe like a courtesy test or so, just as like how things are going.
Sure, I can do
Right.
courtesy.
It's less about like I'm not trying to test you on your recall. It's more just like, or what are you a cool tour guide? Would you get a thumbs up on the tour? Kind of thing, right?
So I was actually going to ask, because I think the only context that Acewin would really know
Yeah.
is the like military history, because like
Yeah.
that's how
It's from
Gareth
Vortigern, right?
educated her.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it
My
was a
own.
notable
Yeah. My own.
Battle of
My yeah.
Winchester was definitely one that was important to Acewin's great grandfather.
Exactly. I was gonna say it's at this point it's probably like 60, 70 years old. Exactly, but it was during like the Battle of Vortigern and Aurelian and the Saxons left over from it.
Yeah. Okay, I'll roll courtesy. Success.
Yeah. Well, you treat you treat me very well, Sir Knight. As this man, he has very he doesn't he's very juxtaposing to Arthur. And he's not like a Rufus where he's like full of himself, right? There's sort of, but he sort of has that command. It's almost like he has the command of, he has the good parts of Arthur and the bad parts of Rufus together, right?
It's the Louis the 14th quality of like the majesty of rule.
Yes,
is something sort of innately aesthetic,
right? Oh, he tells you about it's no Constantinople, but it's certainly old, and looking around, and there certainly was a battle here, and he's looking over to like maybe like to the distantly to Sarum, and like you can kind of see the plain fields here. And it's like it's remarkable how quickly people are able to rebuild after such devastation.
Honored are we that you would even think of Constantinople, looking at the barest rock here in Salisbury.
Ah. Oh, so you've heard of the greatest city of any age?
My father had some interest in the Romans, their writings, and in fact, some of their poetry.
Well, you should know.
I can.
Good night. You should know that if you ever made your way down to Byzantium, Lord willing, perhaps maybe with Arthur's retinue, if he is as open as I am led to believe, perhaps we could show you around. We have preserved the best of the Roman writing and literature. I'm sure you're familiar with Virgil, but I cut you off.
I am familiar as much as one can be with Virgil out here. One of my old tutors had some small knowledge. Acewin is like biting back, like, yeah, I'm gonna get to go to Constantinople only if Rufus thinks he's throwing me into the garbage pit. Yeah. Like that is not happen. Not getting that permission.
He quotes you some like obscure passage of like the Aeneid or like whatever else Virgil's known for, and just like looking over to Camelot about something about Troy in this or something. I don't know, but anyways, the point here is yeah, like he's a very fellow that you can be impressed by.
Yeah. I confess, my lord, I am no great lord of Salisbury. I am the merest banneret of the lands, but I know not what business brings you to Sarum or Salisbury to see my Earl Rufus, but it would be a great honor if you would stoop to take even a brief respite at Winterbourne Gunner.
Sir Aswin, if only we would be able to. You see, for all of the invitations we have for hospitality, I'm afraid I would never make my destination to Arthur's court until I'm grown old of age.
Of course. Then may God speed you on your path in as best comfort and grace as managed.
Pray, indulge me one question further. Now, Tristan has spoken very, very highly of Arthur, and certainly we have heard the stories of Excalibur down in old Constantinople. What do you think of the man?
I have ridden with Arthur in battle, in his battalia, against his enemies. I have striven with my heart and the strength of my arm, and I strive in two services alone, God's and Arthur's. He is a young man, but the glories ahead of them are very clear, even to my youthful eyes. My father was a respected man in these lands, a crusty man, an old dog hewn with scars. Yet the beginning of the reign of the boy king, I think, counted amongst the greatest joys in his life. On that alone, I shall recommend the king to anyone.
You honor your father's memory and your king very well, Sir Knight. He gives you a nod, and like the horse kind of like trots again. You're like, damn, that horse is good. Yeah.
I imagine it's just dressages everywhere.
Yeah, exactly. 100%. I mean, in a different game, it's like he literally is in a Lamborghini. Like he's literally in a red Lamborghini going down a dirt road in Sar. He is that. No, but yeah, he is certainly well to do. You know, yeah, and I didn't have time to describe his retinue and all, but you can imagine sort of like 20 other like servants and knights around him at all times.
Yeah, there's
and
some
Tristan's
real
kind of a guy
going on here.
Oh yeah, and like you can kind of imagine that, just getting from London to here, like he's just trying to cut through here to go up to Carlion, right? For Easter, right? And so like getting over there just means that he gets stopped all of the time. Right, of being like, oh, you must stay with me. Oh, you must do this thing all the time. Oh, you must let me tell you about all this stuff, because the guy is just a genuine, hot commodity.
Fucks yeah, so I can dig it
for sure.
Did I? Oh, he did give his name.
Yeah, Sir Sagramore, Byzantium. He's nephew to Emperor Anastasius I.
Love it.
And I didn't roleplay it, but he gave you enough to know that he seeks to reunite Rome and Britain and their lands.
I kind of figured this was like a better version of Syagrius's visit. Like Syagrius wanted to tighten the bonds there, but it was under very not good circumstances. And this feels like kind of a foil to that.
Yeah. Remember, like the Roman senators and all those guys who showed up a couple years ago were like, you're part of me. Come join us. And Arthur fucking kicked those guys to the curb. Famously,
the groaning of Britain. I mean,
this guy is probably coming here to do the same. So
I hope he's gonna have a better luck. Like, here's the thing: is like I think from the ground level, Acewin is about that. Like, just met the guy; he's cool. I don't see why we couldn't be friends with the Roman. But I think to those with a longer view, like, Britain has been ignored hardcore by Rome until Uther, So
something to do with some like Goths or something, like whatever.
Yeah,
whatever's up
totally
with those guys.
Totally unrelated, I'm sure, to them showing up wanting to be friends again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Colin doesn't disagree with Arthur's heavy-handed approach to them.
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right. Is there any business we shall want to? Now you're back, Jim. I wanted to ask you if there's anything you wanted to say to your squire who lost their necklace.
Was it a squire or was it Obolat, his new household knight?
Did I write down the name wrong? Who's your squire? It should have been your squire.
Okay, yeah, Squire then. He's Brugan.
Oh, Brugan. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brugyn. Yeah, I think in my notes I have it wrong. That's my bad.
Obolat was my former squire who I have now taken on.
Right. That's why he's in my notes. I have Obolat next to you, and like that's why. Right. Obolat squire. All right. Former squire. Former squire. Now household knight. Oh yeah. Awesome. But is there anything you want to promise to try to get it back, or you want to give him a tough lesson about loss, or
was it stolen by one of the raiders?
Yeah, he basically got his ass kicked, and he got away with his life, but he lost the Saxon gets ready to grab him and give him the fatal blow, right? But the necklace chain they grabbed him by broke, and is able to kick him away, and then after you YOLO through the guy's friends, he flees with the necklace, right?
Yeah, no, it's going to be like, well, that's like you're lucky that necklace saved your life, and is going to be like, it could essentially, and give him a similar message that he gave Conehelm, but this guy's not his kid, so he's not going to try to like soften it or ease it into it. It's like, it's just the way it is.
And the best part about
is always at our heels.
And Gordon, the best part about this is that your valor is literally 20. So it's like when you say get good, it's like you can't fail teaching that lesson to him. Like he literally is like, oh, he's right. I shouldn't have. Yeah, I lived and I should have just been better. You're right. Yeah, you're right, my lord.
Now, if Bruggen follows up with it, Gorthron might have more to say, but he's not going to lecture him or anything.
No, I mean you
like.
Your lecture is you cleaning the blood off your mace. You know what I mean? It's just like you just single-handedly turned the tide over here. It's like, yeah, no, like if you're this good, it's not a problem, and it's on you to defend yourself. Like this is part of being a knight. And so maybe Bruggen's like, but I'm not as strong as you. I'm not as brave as you. What do you mean?
At your age, stop comparing yourself to me. Compare yourself to your own accomplishments, what you have in you.
Compare myself to my own. Yeah. All right, he can work with that. Yeah, good, right? Awesome.
Yeah,
it's like
he's not. What's he gonna do? But get big like Gorthron?
Yeah, like how does it work? Yeah, that's exactly what I'm trying to like get to you or trying to convey. There is like he's supposed to learn from you, but you're also just this mountain warrior god. Right? Yeah. Like you're not gonna. There's so much default ability compared to this poor guy. Yeah, compared to the average guy. He's like, what do you mean you don't have a natural 6 foot reach? Like, what do you mean that you can just hit people who can't close in on you? What do you? I don't.
You need to get invited to the right party, eat enough chicken, and then there you go.
Yeah. Your dad needs to befriend the assistant archbishop.
Once
you get a side of beef every day.
Once the meat sweats break, you'll realize that you've grown 4 inches.
Yep, get that meat protein in. None of this grain. Come on. I gotta eat well.
you probably no joke, Gorthron. I cut you off because it's just a joke. Right. It's like you no joke probably eat like a dozen eggs a day.
Easily, yeah. No, Gorthron is a real.
You just go through them.
You're like Sveedern is just like every week.
I don't think I'm far off. Aeswin doesn't have the size, but between strength and con, like I just realized I think Aeswin is stronger than Gorthron.
It's possible. I think we've been neck and neck for a while.
And
19 strength, 20 con, like it's yours. You can't tell from the token, but I think Aeswin is built like just a plug. Like it's just a very square person.
Gorthron's 18 with 19 size.
Yeah. It's the size. It's the size that does it. Aeswin is. I love my little.
You're just like a beefy Minecraft.
Just like
a grow thick with strunks. So
Trunks of human beings. Yeah,
I did have something I wanted Aeswin to maybe look into, and I've been noodling on it.
Tell me.
Legacy. Aeswin is like trying to construct not just a specific legacy, but like a kind of continuity. And I think she's recently come around to the whole reason Morgan is with the family. Having a live-in bard is great, but this was her father's bard, and that means, like her father, he's gonna die eventually. I would like to, if possible, pay for Morgan to take on an apprentice, so that if/when he eventually passes on, there is an immediate continuity there.
Morgan knows just the person like he wants to ask, but it means he has to go to London for the year. Is that fine?
Oh yeah, honestly, Aeswin probably doesn't ask enough questions about what Morgan does with himself. So it's one of these things where he's like, can I go to London? She's like, oh, I rather thought you were there already.
Yeah. If you knew what was going on, like this is like a 3-month journey tops, but Morgan's asking for like 9 months, like basically the whole year, right. Like he's just gonna do some stuff around and just hang out. And...
Aeswin is going to let him, but is gonna be a little bit passive aggressive and be like, I shall refrain from doing anything chronicle worthy for 9 months then.
Yeah.
But also, like, this is kind of why I also want a apprentice, like better coverage.
Yeah. Is more. Yeah. What's interesting? I don't think I ever pointed this out, but something that's interesting about Morgan is that Morgan is not of like the Roman variety of lawyer and shit. Like there's a bunch of like Roman law and stuff still in London. In fact, there's still some in Sarum. But no, like you are of a like Morgan is of a new age of bards. It's also one of the reasons why Morgan was never like fitting in with the rest of the bards and kind of wanted to leave and strike on their own. So if they find someone who would also be less traditional and more interested in the exploits of your family, they probably met someone at the scriptorium when they were transcribing your book. So
perfect. Yeah. So like that, I understand that'll essentially double the labor cost for one part of the household. But honestly, I got the money, gonna spend it.
Yeah, and their expenses and all that stuff. But I'm not worried about that. Yeah, you have plenty of money. Like it's not a question of it, right? I was talking about that in prep about how like it's less interesting. Like counting money is kind of like encumbrance in a game where it's like I don't care about the weight, but what's interesting though are the choices that come from that. Being like, can I carry this or that, right? And like that's the same thing with money, right? It's like it's how far what's the liquidity of that? Like can I get this and that, or do I have to choose between the two? But like the actual number doesn't matter, right? I don't care if I have 17 or 16.
Just as easily be a space in a inventory grid or something. Yeah. Like Troikas. Troikas is fun.
Yeah, right. Like you can afford these luxury. Like you can afford 3 luxuries a year at normal style. I'm like, this is the luxury, right? Is that right?
I mean, yeah, I think it also reinforces that we're like this isn't like vanilla fantasy world. This is supposed to be a real place. It's like there's just not that much stuff.
Yeah.
And most of our wealth is in food and
that's the other thing. Yeah, exactly.
And shit.
Even our frivolities are material kind of stuff. It's our frivolities still connect with the rest of our lives somehow. Even our most ostentatious thing, which is like jewelry and clothes, it still has an absolute social value that has to be respected, even though it is ostensibly this like frivolous show of wealth.
Yeah. Speaking of, Northern would like to have in some of his newly acquired funds. He would like to have some kind of celebration. I assume like this is the year he's moving into Till's Head, and he wants to leave Childerton with a bit of a party. It's being passed on to, I believe, Rugar, his younger brother, who will hold it until Cohenhelm is of age. But Cohenhelm's going to get Till's Head. He's leaving it in family hands, but is no longer be residing at Childerton, and he wants to throw some kind of party.
Yeah, and that's sort of I'm
also thinking about throwing a party.
We'll do that later in the year.
Sure. I just wanted to remark. Just to
I'll make a note for throwing
triple party year. Because the thing I wanted to do a party for was the Order of the Born. Is to like, and I don't think we need to do it like mechanically every year, but I think fictionally, and again, this is an expenditure I'm fine with, is like every year the Order of the Born has a feast.
Yeah. I love that.
This makes perfect sense to me. No, I love that stuff. All right, speaking of feasts though, we should handle the Easter feast.
Yeah, we should.
So we're gonna handle the part in Carlion rather than local Sarum. Like you're gonna be with King Arthur et al. Okay.
At all. Good. I like that because hopefully we get a little bit of news about Rome Man. And I am very curious to see how his treating with King Arthur has gone for the Roman concern.
Right. I wasn't sure what you meant, but now it makes perfect sense to me. Oh, I didn't drag you over. Oops. Boop. And boop. There we go.
Ethelred, give me that fashion.
Yeah.
She knew she was on thin ice. She knew she was on thin ice. He was a very conservative choice this year, but it worked. It's fine. That good. I'd rather that.
Very strong.
I always forget that gives me +1 to my appearance.
Yeah. Correct. I'm sorry. I'm still getting over Zebra's comment of just saying you're what do you call it? Like your nom de guerre is the brick shit house of Winterborn Cut. That's good. Sorry. All right. It's like he said it like 20 minutes ago, and it still makes me smile.
Brick shit house. I love it.
All right. Yep. Good fashions. Good fashions.
I still failed the appearance. If I don't,
That's
if
fair.
I get my fashion, it's literally a coin flip. Like
maybe
there's
maybe it has something to do with Sagramor's like retinue, and like is just kind of taking up a lot of space, and some of you all kind of that normally sit above the salt kind of have to get nudged down. Like, hey, you don't mind, do you? Oh,
I mean, any strong light tends to dim others, so
yeah,
this is the light pollution of feasts.
Yeah, the nephew to the emperor of the Byzantine throne.
Listen, that below the salt is where some real power lies.
Hard power.
It's kind of I'm still really kind of enjoying not having to deal with the high table bullshit.
Yeah. Northern Gulps. He's great. I'm assuming he's not at the high table at Carlisle on Easter.
No.
Yeah.
But you're like with the Earl. Well, it kind of makes sense here, right, Gorthrin? Because you're with the Earl, and the Earl brings like the 6 or 7 that sit next to him, which are all the castle, Vavasaurs, and you're back at basically the high table of Sarm would be the near the salt for this feast.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Also, notably at this feast, besides the Sir Sagramor, is I wrote down his nickname, but I did not write down his actual name. I'm a dummy. 1 second. It is what's his name? I just wrote down the Knight of 100, the King of 100 Knights, but I didn't write down his actual name. The King of Malahut is here.
Oh, I don't remember.
He's just known as the King with 100 Knights. So anyways, he is here, and his kind of like, it doesn't take a gossip roll or anything like that to know, but he is here because apparently Saxons have taken Eberkurum, his capital, and kicked him out.
Methinks there's possibly a campaign in the future then.
Yeah. Arthur's very mad about that. Yeah, so to describe Arthur, by the way, because you haven't seen him in a while, Arthur is just inseparable from Guinevere.
We all get it.
Yeah.
Such a lovely couple.
And there's kind of a rumor or kind of a thing going around being like, Arthur kind of cares about Guinevere more than the kingdom. And I was like, yeah, but I get it though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's
let him have his honeymoon.
Yeah, it's kind of that, right?
Yeah.
But this is one of the first times. Huh?
How old is he now? Because I haven't kept track of his age.
20 something.
He says
20, early 20. I think just turned 20.
Okay. Yeah.
Like
so
he's like
he deserves.
He's still young. He's still young. Yeah.
Our king. We can't. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you know how it goes when you're 20 years old. So but with Malahut down here, he thinks this is sort of like a huge affront, and you almost bet that you should cancel your summer plans. You know what I mean? That's kind of the vibe that you should be getting.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Gird yourself for war, Brugan.
Yeah.
See my
You have to roll.
yeah,
You have to do your chase test, right?
certainly does. Well then,
Plenty of
what goes in? High spirits.
plenty of cutie pies.
Yeah,
What
around
happened
to
to
talk
your
to.
chase?
well, it would. It I bought
I
it.
don't want.
I think I bought it down, or it was.
Well, because you need the
Oh,
lustful at
I'm
16.
thinking you're lustful. Jesus,
Oh, no,
I'm
yeah,
like,
Wait,
I was
wait,
like,
wait. Don't you test your no? You don't test your lustful.
You test your chase.
Right.
You have to test chaste, or you have to pass a chaste roll to do anything other than flirt.
Right.
So let me get that out of the way. Now the flirting is just,
Yeah.
it's
This
just,
is this is
flirt's
just you.
the
Yeah.
NPCs.
Right. I mean, yeah, exactly. Like, I think I kind of see this as sort of like the red carpet part of the feast, right? Where you're just like
Yeah.
talking to everybody, people are taking pictures with you, kind of situation, right? Like, it's just it's less like you're like actually flirting with an individual right now, but more about like you are schmoozing,
time.
right?
Yeah.
Just schmoozing with everybody around, talking, like catching up with
Absolutely.
everybody, and like getting the vibe
The
of
high
everyone.
life.
Right, exactly, right?
It's the
And
high
like
life, yeah,
and
yeah.
like this is sort of representing less the like individually going out with somebody, and more of the like you have now reconnoitered the battlefield about who's
Yeah.
what what are the
Who's
great
who,
hills,
who's
right?
the
You know the
good
terrain,
guys.
who's hooking up with who's fair game, who's not, and like that's what this represents. And
Yeah.
you're in, and the failing of the chase means that you're paying attention to that again. You're like, you can't help
Yep.
but your mind's there, right? Your mind's in the game.
Can't help it. I'll be there. You know what? It's okay.
Yeah.
I'll get seconds at the third course.
And everybody, and well, I think the big thing that you find with this is that obviously everybody is like Sagramore, or oh my god, right? And so like making out with Sagramore would be the dream.
All right. Okay. All right. Everybody.
But that's you know what I mean. Like,
is Sir Sagamore around? Or are they?
I mean, he's
they're up at the high table?
he's at the high table with Arthur and stuff like that. Like those are the untouchable gods. You know what I mean? And the rest of you are on the high table. Are like, fuck, they're hot.
Yeah.
They're hot as shit, dude. and like you have seen Guinevere too. It's like, and you're like, I actually your amour or whatever is so high. You're probably doing like some kind of weird romantic calculus of like, okay, somebody can just distract Arthur for a second, and then someone gets Sagamore. Then I can just talk. I can could have like a 3-second window. I could just compliment her. You know, like
I know she has. So I just feel like it's a good time to just talk to her about how great I think that she is.
Yeah, so like you're just like you're plotting this sort of like you're
to be second in line to defend your name.
You're like an offensive coach. You're figuring out how the defense is lining up to exploit it. Good shit.
Anything could happen. You could be called upon at a moment's notice.
Yeah. So I think you get by default you get 1 point of geniality, and then because you passed, you get another one for the round.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he gets those two.
Hell yeah. All right, so you got those two. Ace one, I think you can draw cards and have a good time, but you just don't want to.
Yeah, why wouldn't I draw cards? Okay. So options are
cards.
More food.
Classic.
I don't have to do
Mead.
that one. Mead is like the same thing, but with mead. Boastful Knights has intrigued me. Because again, I think I've hit on a thread as to Acewyn, who she is as a person and who she is as a reaction to her father. And legacy, right? I think she sees this as a really good opportunity to talk up the Winterborn Gunnet name. So this is going to be her not necessarily talking directly to her deeds, though certainly that.
Yeah.
I think she's going to be boasting about herself as Winterborn Gunnet.
Yeah, if we were able to devote like 6 or 7 hours a session, you know what I mean? Like really just get into some analysis shit. I wonder how great it must have been to capture that King Rowan or Royne. You know what I mean for you? Of like, you have distinguished yourself and brought so much money to and glory and prestige to your house, right?
Yeah.
That like you are Gareth's kid. You know what I mean? Like to that shadow. You know what I mean?
That really fits. Yeah, I think that really fits. Gareth rehabilitated Winterborn Gunnet from, in his eyes, a
Fucking Garrison,
too modest,
dude. Yeah.
a fucking too modest chalk estate right on the bourne, right?
Yeah.
And he had his triumphs. And Acewin has always struggled with, like, how do I fit
in? Yeah.
Right. Am I in his shadow? Am I not? But capturing a fucking Irish king, I think that's one of the moments she realized that I can be worthy of this name. I can.
Exactly.
And it's not a linear progression. No. She goes back and forth. Self-esteem is hard. So I think this is another time where so if it's all right, I'd like to call on love of family.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Especially because you're dealing with knights across the land, right? You're not just dealing with Salzburg.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the problem, right? Because this is you're no longer great fish, small pond. There's sharks in these waters, right? This is the big one. So it makes perfect sense.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
So I get orate and I get plus 10. Plus 10, right?
Right, 10 to it. Correct.
So auto success. This is just to see.
Do 20 plus 6, yeah.
God damn it. Okay. Well, I'm up against D6 knights.
You rolled 15, right? 9 plus 6. Or did you roll a 3 in that?
My orate is 10. So the plus 10 bonus got me to 20.
Okay. No, well then, how did you roll a 9? My sheet, it says 9 on it.
Yeah, so my orate skill is a 10.
Yeah.
And I got plus 10 to that. Wait, I see what you're saying. But no, it's just a D20 roll against threshold. You only add stuff to the roll when it's over 20.
Oh, right, and you just rolled a 9.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. You added 10, so it was 20. I'm thinking it was 30, and I'm like waiting for you to add the 10, and it didn't. God, my bad. I'm gonna put this wine away. This was a triple glass of wine, and that was not. I was like, I don't want to get up, and I want to drink a rosé. Okay, let's do this shit. All right. Let's roll. How many knights? 3 knights. Awesome. 3d20. Oh God! Of course, you're competing against someone who's renowned for the oratory skills.
So okay, the card says you roll 2d6 plus. Wait, is that better or worse?
Wait, determine each knight's orate. You roll 2d6 plus 3. Oh yeah, no, hold on.
Which one is better for me? Hold on.
Normally I do the 2d20 thing, right? Yeah. But you're right. I didn't actually read the card, even though it's on the screen. It is definitely 2d6 plus 3, so I'll honor that.
Yeah, that'll put it the average
5, 13, and 6.
Oh, I have a chance.
I think you won.
Oh my God.
I think you won by default.
2?
Yep.
Oh my God. Somehow. Fuck yeah.
Oh my God.
So that's 1 geniality for each knight plus 1 for besting them all. So that's 4 geniality.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
So let's talk, like, can we talk for a second what this kind of looks like? I'm not saying you have to role play out the speech here, right? But like, how do you prove to us that you gain your confidence, right? Like, how do you prove that you're able to like interview or like compete with these other knights about their accomplishments and what makes you the better of them all?
I think Acewin gets into a role where she alternates boasting about her and her father. And she chooses moments where the comparison is clear, right? My father fought the giant of Goat Hill. I ride next to the giant of Salisbury. My father led the charge at Alder's Gap, and I, broke the charge at the Battle of Carleon Usk. And so for her, internally, it's her like reinforcing, like, I am my father's daughter. I am worth this. And to everyone else, it's reinforcing, like, Winterborn Gunnet name is not a fluke. You're muted.
Right. I muted because of sneezing. No, you're absolutely right. And I love that because for you, like, this competition is so much even like for yourself and justifying to yourself. And you're thinking into these other knights, right? How like, am I enough to meet my father's legacy? And just as you said, and these knights are like, holy shit, this person's fucking amazing. You know what I mean? But the way self-confidence works is that you just feel like you're never, like you're imposter, right? But to the rest of these knights, your ability to regale and then also like juxtapose that to your father, like exactly, and use it as a strength, like Eighth Mile style, of using your cons in your accomplishments, in comparison to your dad. Hell yeah, brother, that's awesome.
Yep.
Thanks, Colin. That was awesome. All right, we have one more round for the feast, and I also none of you asked me for what food we have, and I'm a little hurt, a little betrayed. Fat
capon. Nice. Ooh.
And frumenti.
We've looked up frumenti before,
and it's
right? I
boiled
think
wheat
it's like
custard. It's like oatmeal,
exactly
but
what it sounds like.
Yeah, it's oatmeal. Yep.
What a strange chef who's like, all right, we're gonna start with this fatty, like this rich fatty fowl, and we're gonna follow it up with oatmeal.
Quarters came in, followed by oatmeal and raisins,
followed by chicken.
Chicken wings.
This is a heavy fucking meal. Oh my god.
Yep. Listen,
eat those calories on the march to Malhood.
The oatmeal was explicitly requested by the Byzantine guy. Let me try your oatmeal. I've heard amazing things about your frumenti. And he's like, are you sure, my lord? I had a giant roasted swan ready to go. Like, no, keep that shit back there. When my guy wants oatmeal, we're giving him oatmeal.
In Byzantium, I have like the finest fowl, the most rich meats, sweet meats, honeyed. I'm actually really looking forward to your rustic oatmeal. Exactly. I've always wondered what it's like to taste something that has barely a taste.
Feed me the sustenance that you have all fed on after such apocalyptic events and the loss of the Roman Empire here. Teach me of your, you know what I mean? He's like,
I have seen the robust frame of your peasants. I wish to see the food that has made them so meaty.
That has grown them so tall. It's so mighty.
Oh, shit.
I love it.
Salisbury and thick peasant stock.
Oh, God. All right. 4 cards.
Delicious.
There we go.
Oh, you hit 8,000. I forgot.
8K. Come on. We got. I don't see any host cards. Let's see. More food. Another platter of food is brought out. Temperate versus indulgent. Classic one. Passion. During a conversation, a fellow guest says that you lack passion, of which Gorthrin does not lack passion.
Random dude blinking gif.
Singing sensation. Sing. I don't think Gorthrin can sing.
That's a good one. I kind of want you to pick that one.
I know.
And who are you? An unknown lady asked you to entertain her. Oh, I would love it if this is like a retinue, a knight from Byzantium who's like, and tell me this glorious, person.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's see. I've got 3 geniality.
Yeah. Right.
What are you? Because I could see the passion is fun, but it's also like. There's not really.
I mean, yeah, you can. It's your pick, of course.
Yeah, it's
sometimes
there's less risk there.
Sometimes I choose for like the mechanical effect. Some that I choose for like the power gaming. Like this is going to be easy and gets me a lot of geniality. And sometimes I'll pick if the failure is interesting. And the thing is, as much as I love these cards, sometimes the failure isn't interesting. Sometimes it's just like. Look, you embarrass yourself.
Listen, we didn't design this game. This game is designed for as a product to be sold for mass market appeal. I'm sure we would all individually do some other different things that would make more difficult decisions.
Well,
right?
I don't think it's like a bad design
No,
decision.
no,
Because
that's
when
not
you're
what I'm saying at
dealing with
all. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Um, but it does it I
No,
think that definitely impacts when I'm
we
choosing. It's like, well, this one could
Chaosium
be
has to
interesting to
make
pass, and
yeah.
this one could be boring to fail.
Chaosium has to
Yeah.
make money, and like no one's gonna be like buying this story gamey like interrogative question stuff that sometimes we devolve into or divulge ourselves in as like a mass market appeal. You know what I mean?
It's true.
I am gonna go with this last one. I like this
I
one
know.
just because it's delicious and doesn't play to Gorthrin's strengths, but it makes sense for where he's sitting and kind of like the circles he's in now. This who are you? An unknown lady asks you to entertain her during the feast. Roll recognize, and then there's a secondary potential intrigue
Yeah.
roll.
I imagine this person. I don't have to randomly generate them, but I imagine she or he is like one of those like retinue knights of what's his name, Sagramore.
So not past the recognize, which means you don't have to roll intrigue.
Ah,
There's no secondary chance, so there's no chance for the glory.
And there's no you didn't
there's
fumble,
no risk,
so it's just
but I didn't fumble either.
yeah. So this is one where it's just like you get a geniality for getting the card.
Yeah.
So you have a chance to impress this person who's probably like pretty good friends with Sagramore. And I think maybe, like your head's just somewhere else, right? So like when this person's talking to you, you don't understand, like you don't realize the importance of this person, and you're probably thinking about Guinevere, or,
Who are these
or like
Byzantines?
moving. Like you
Why are
have
they here again?
you have a million things your head could be in right now that the
Absolutely.
space is just not.
Is it possible at least just to find out where they're from? Like, do they come from?
Oh yeah, no, they're literally from Constantinople. They're from Byzantium. They're from the Byzantine Empire. Like they're here as representatives.
They took a boat.
Yeah, I think so actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least one.
At least
Statistically.
no,
Yeah.
no. That's the thing though, is that their horses can actually swim the whole distance, and so they just did that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that part of Dunkirk.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Horses like, Constantinople. Just like,
This some mad prophet in the distance, like, it will be Istanbul. Hear me, it will be Istanbul. Getting kicked out of here. Yeah. So
nice.
Constant. Yeah. So yeah. Again, like
it's like a brush with someone important that Gorthrin just doesn't recognize. It's like this sort of missed. Yeah, I like that.
1,000,000%.
Just like has this brush that he doesn't see the significance of.
Yeah. And we don't see this at this time, but like obviously the timeline of what's going on in Pendragon is not the timeline of the real world. So like keep that in mind when I say this, that like in the 500s though, this is the time when Rome's completely just a fucking shit fire, and Byzantine's like, hey, I guess it's us now. And
right,
I guess
516s, have they reinvaded Italy yet?
Yeah, that's what
I was gonna say. If they start kicked that off, then
and so like so the Byzantines kind of like the part of like we're trying to reestablish ties. It's actually more like the Franks and stuff. I kind of got their shit in order, and they're kind of like, okay, well now we've stopped pillaging Rome for like the 4th time now. It's like maybe there's some sort of stability going on. Maybe we can like handshake and figure some stuff out together. And during that stay is also kind of why Sagramore shows up here again, right? He's trying to like Byzantine's not like in a golden age. I wouldn't go that far, but Byzantine's certainly like the new emperor is trying to expand himself again and trying to take over a little bit of territories. And obviously Arthur is known across the world here at this point of being a like, oh shit, some fucking boy guy is like a god over on some like island.
In regards to like not recognizing someone important, in college I had a friend who would usually get hit on by like these various finance bros that worked in like Boston's financial district, and would always try and name drop where they were like interning or working the companies. And her strategy was, because she never recognized them anyway and didn't give a shit, she would always respond, "I'm sorry, I'm not into Pokemon." And there's a kind of shock that comes with that, I think.
That's good. That's a good.
it goes past like, oh, I don't recognize. It goes past that into this kind of casual dismissiveness that I envy.
Is it okay? So can I please indulge me for just a second? Does that I'm not into Pokemon represent the I don't want to be collected by by I'm just a goal and the objectification from that, or is it just an outright dismissal of like I don't even care what you have to say, I assume it's Pokemon?
It's the second one.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's even better.
It was how she got rid of them.
Yeah,
they
okay.
usually get fucking offended and just be like, "What's Pokemon got to do with it?" She's like, "I don't know. You're the one who's talking about it."
I'm simultaneously trying to repair my reputation with you, immediate, and defend Pokemon. So, and do both.
Like I said, it was a move.
Yeah, that's a great move. I love that shit. Oh, that's good. Thank you. Okay. One more round for you, Aceman.
Okay. This was
we normally do. We don't do longer, but I want to make sure we get through the stuff today.
Yeah, no worries. I think this is unfortunately easy. More food, not super interesting. Yeah. Inflamed passions, not particularly interesting. And Christian blessing, not super interesting either, but gives me money, so I might just choose that.
Well, yeah. Do you want to get blessed by an Orthodox priest?
That's it. It's a Greek priest. There we go.
Hell yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's like he's gonna give me some Kyrie eleisons. All right, these are not Hail Marys. These are not Pater Nosters. These are Kyrie eleisons. It's like when your friend gets like olive oil from Greece, and they're like, it's so much better. I'm like, you bought that at Trader Joe's. Yes, I did too. I bought mine from Trader Joe's. This is not that much better.
That is, it is the spiritual version of buying the quality olive oil from Trader Joe's.
Yeah,
I understand. It's got a picture on it. It's like it's authentic.
Mm-hmm.
I love that shit. Love it.
It's like I understand. It is better than the one I got, which is in a plastic squeeze bottle, obviously.
Makes me feel good.
All right. Are we?
That's it. 2 rounds, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This year's events, as foreshadowed, we are going to be dealing with Malahut.
Yeah.
Arthur, enraged by the Saxons, really, has basically taken off and has begun to what some scholars would call YOLO himself into the battle, rather than waiting later on in the year for a rallying point and getting all the mustering of soldiers. He basically leaves with his retinue from Carleon late in the spring, early summer. And he's just going to go for it. And he's kind of expecting other people to kind of just show up, like that they would care so much. But like he's very much like not waiting for people. Now,
called an audible on the pub crawl. Yeah.
Now, what slows him down, though, and the reason why Rufus, Salisbury, Cornwall, and Silchester are able to accompany him is that every night, they set up they always stop every night, and there's always like a pavilion, and no one wants to wake up Arthur. I said Archer, Arthur and Guinevere, and it's actually like their love nest is kind of what slows them down enough. Like he wants to do this so bad, but loves her so much that it actually is a chance for people to catch up to them. And so. The way we're gonna do this game is rather than doing the proper like battle command and all that kind of stuff, is that due to the nature of this being sort of like a hasteful skirmish, and this will be sort of a series of encounters. We're going to sort of do this in a more abstract way, if that's okay with you all.
Yeah, like a series of raids, kind of.
Precisely.
Okay.
So like basically the video game cutscene events. If you would
montage it.
This is what
Montages.
I'm wondering
the Montags and the Capulets, right?
Yeah, I'm wondering I came up
This is
here
a bad look.
like we came up here for the feast, so like our wives and our regular retinue is with us.
But you're not really ready for war.
We're not
you know what I
bringing
mean?
that. Yeah.
So like,
yeah, we're not
you
bringing
literally
that
like
stuff.
go home, open the door, like you like kick down your own door, you grab your sword and mail and lance, and you like grab your charger, and you're like, let's go. There's like no time. Fucking Arthur's already halfway into like
we would travel with our
fens.
arms and armor.
Yeah,
Like,
Oh yeah, we
No, I know.
definitely do.
Yeah, we might not have our full. Like, not everybody
Yeah,
from Salisbury's going, but
No.
like,
Well,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like you don't have your retinue. You would have your individual stuff, right?
Sure.
It's not like you're wearing that during the feast or anything like that. But it's just like,
No,
yeah,
no,
you
no.
have it on you, like as a just in case. It's
you know,
it's like
no, no.
when you travel with like 6 horses and a bunch of like servants and folks around you, like
Yeah.
like there's some trunk space. Like you're gonna sure you can bring it.
No,
You got
it's-
what you have a squire. Like that's what a squire is for, right? It's like literally
true.
he's literally just like your friend with the Subaru.
I am sworn to carry your burdens.
Yeah, that's every friend of the Subaru.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay,
Or
yeah,
a
but
Mazda
we don't-
or any
we don't have our
hatchback, to be honest.
vassals or household knights, like our retinue isn't there, or all that good
Yeah.
stuff.
Well,
Just us.
the question is, do you want to go with Arthur or do you want to?
Yeah,
Okay.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, like
Hell
just
yeah.
not even
That,
go
I
down.
did. That was not a question. We're going.
yeah, like the family, if they want to, it really
Okay.
shouldn't come to Malachite.
Awesome.
Really,
Yeah.
Yeah. Like to be clear, I think Gorthrin and Acewin, we have like kind of emotional conversations with our spouses. There's the tearful goodbyes, and as soon as they're out of eyesight, we're like high-fiving because we're going
Yeah.
fucking war, baby.
yeah,
Yeah.
This is the honeymoon tour.
Yeah. And basically, he's like promising everybody that we're gonna take back Epicurean before Christmas, and like just like we're gonna fucking go over there and just smash that shit.
Yeah.
We're gonna.
Never
I'm gonna race
before Christmas.
Yeah.
Everyone promises
Never
before
promises.
Christmas.
Even Arthur, dude, he's gonna raise Excalibur. The walls are gonna fall like Jericho, and it's gonna be easy. Okay, like that's literally what he's saying, right?
This fucking kid.
Yeah.
All right,
Right. Like that's where he's at right now.
let's do
Also,
it.
have you met my wife? It's like the other.
How lusty is the camp?
That's a great question, dude. Honestly, probably not very lusty. I think the
Okay.
demand for lust is pretty standard, but I don't think the supply has really caught up. Like
Gotcha.
the logistics of that as sort of the part of the baggage
Oh, the
train
business
that you're
part
kind of
of it.
leaving behind in lieu of just rushing out of here. And
man.
you're not like literally leaving Easter, like getting on your horse and going, right? Like obviously you have a little bit of leeway and things are happening and stuff like that, right? So like I don't want you to pretend that you're just like dressing just in your threads, your nice Easter threads and doing that. Right? Yeah, right. Yeah, you can. There's plenty of time and things like that to move things around. But I'm just saying, as far as like military actions go during a year, this is extremely hasty.
Sure.
Which-
I kind
not a
of
good
were
look.
like what the atmosphere in camp was like, whether it was a kind of like a party or if it's like
Yeah, it's a
Long
party
Arthur.
and optimistic. Yeah, it's
Okay.
Okay.
As far as a party goes, though, it's more like you don't really have the supply. Like it's not like a feast kind of party, but like it's very much like a military camp party. Like people are like ready. Morale couldn't be higher. Basically, you're suffering from too much morale, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
No,
That's-
this is great.
that's-
This is
okay,
like a summer camp. Like,
Yeah,
This is called
Overconfidence.
on the pub crawl. Like it can get out of hand so quick.
Right.
There's
Like-
a reason you got an itinerary for that shit.
overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer. Right. Like, too bad Arthur's never played Darkest Dungeon. So this is the play.
All right.
All right, so we're going to start with the Battle of Humber. This is a brief engagement. Arthur basically sees sort of the encampments of. So you've heard that imagine the several weeks of travel that you've heard that it's these kings Baldulf and Colgrin, brothers from the main continent, who have landed in like the fens or I think it's called like Daris or Dinas. But basically it's sort of the Osa Octa like Anglia kind of part of the map, right? And they've kind of Dira is the name of it, and they just basically just crushed into Malahut, and forced the king out of here. Not great.
They're like quote unquote Saxons.
Oh yeah,
rather
these
than
are new
these are just
Saxons that don't know the deal.
Okay, just people from the continent.
Yeah, these are brand new Saxons that are not the Anglans or the Anglos, or like they're not anybody. They're like not the
They're not the
Jutes.
good Saxons.
Yeah, exactly. These are basically like Danes. Like they're like there's some random like they
Oh.
just show up here and like they just starting shit, right? Like and that's what they're doing. And Malahut is their target.
What is this? The 400s?
Yeah, it really does kind of feel like that. They're like, oh shit, Rome's still here. Fuck yeah, I love raiding Rome.
Yeah.
It's my favorite hobby. Hitting Malahut.
All right, so Battle of Humbert. What's the new procedure here?
Right. So since you're here, what we're going to do is we're going to do a quick battle test for Arthur, followed by a valor and sword. Okay. And I would love one of you to roll for Arthur, and the other one will roll for Colgrin. Sorry, they're from Saxony, so the Germans.
They're proper Saxons.
Yeah, proper Saxons. Yeah. So Arthur's battle is 15, and Colgrin's is
mine.
17.
Oh, okay.
Would one of you like to roll for each of them?
I'll roll for the baddies. You're welcome.
1 versus 2.
I mean,
Hot
we just talked
damn.
about how ill-disciplined. It's
All right.
Just like crashing, buckles happen.
But it works. It pays off because they're also not disciplined. So imagine this scene sort of like you all have not organized into a battle line either, right? Like you're on your horses and you're assembling. Arthur just fucking sees the first fucking enemy force and just goes for it. He doesn't even bother like understanding the lay of the land here. He is so mad and ready to go. It's not going to be till it's the morning of it's the morning of the day, and the first time you get your little scout skirmish report going on. He's like, all in, let's go, let's just crush these guys. So that's what Arthur does. So you have your first charge here. And rather than I said valor and sword, but I guess it would be lance since you won. So give me 2 tests of valor and lance for me.
2 tests of valor and 2 tests of lance.
No. 2 tests. So one of valor, one of lance.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Success on both.
Hell fucking yeah. All right. So you all do well on the first charge, right? You just cut like a knife through butter into this flank of this mass of troops. The problem is that you're actually by the time you're like sliced into them, it begins to realize how like deep their numbers go, and that this hit, you just knifed a cow. You know what I mean? like there's a bunch of troops here, and that is not going to be enough. The decisive YOLO strike here of this moment is not going to be enough. But you have dug in. Did Jim roll for Arthur?
Yeah.
Do you want to roll for Arthur again? His battle.
Oh yeah, sure. Same.
Do I roll for baddies again?
Would you? Yeah.
All right. Not as good.
Okay. But you pass your battle though, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, okay. Yeah. And you're going to learn the status of this force by fighting defensively. You all are going to be fighting against 2 people. You all are going to be specifically going against spearmen with spears of 20. Lightly, you basically like cut through like whatever sense of like armored huscarl like line that they were able, like rear guard basically they were able to set up, right? But then like you're like just like into the meat of this organized group or disorganized group. But the problem is that disorganized people with spears are still pretty good.
Yeah, we thought we were charging through their center. We hit their vanguard, and their center is here.
Thank you. That's the better way, not rear. Yeah, that's much better expression. Yeah, so that's what's going on here. So you're going to be each going to be defending against 2. Would you like to call any passions or anything like that?
Passion, not die. Which one is that?
No, getting a mounted bonus.
Not against spears, I don't think.
No, not against spears.
Yeah,
regular spears are good. They must be great spears.
Yeah. Also, you wouldn't be charging, right? You basically have this would actually be sword. Sorry, you're fighting sword against spears here.
Okay, I'm gonna do 14-2 for mine.
Yeah, effectively, the first round of combat here is that you just like went right through their defense with your lances, right?
Okay, success.
But now you're bogged into it.
Yeah.
Okay, success and failure against my 2 opponents.
All right, Ace win. First opponent. Crit.
Son of a bitch.
Second opponent.
Oh,
crit.
Oh.
You love to see it, folks.
wait.
Yep.
Slash. Yeah, I mean, okay, I did slash RD20. Okay, yeah, no, it's not like I didn't roll 20. You know.
Cool.
Wow. All right.
Roll this fucking damage, man.
All right. You're gonna take ultimately 20d6 points of damage, but broken into 10d6. So the first 10d6.
That's. Yep.
40.
40. That might put me down already. Give me a second. So this is what's 40 minus 18?
32. 22. 22.
22? All right,
22.
I'm still up. That is just a major wound. The other one, 25. I don't think I go down.
Holy shit. I would feel terrible if I just killed you right now.
Yeah, no.
Oh my god.
So wound 22 after the fact. So that's going to be a major wound. The other one, 18 as 7, is not a major wound. Honestly, and that's only 29. I'm still up.
Yeah.
My unconscious is 29.
Look at the.
I might still be down.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Unconscious.
Almost half of the dice I rolled for this second roll are 1.
Okay. Okay. I'm not in danger of dying, but I am unconscious.
Yeah.
And let me resolve the major wound fucking nonsense.
Aging stuff. All right, Gorthrin.
Yeah.
You can use sword or mace. You have a preference.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with sword myself, and I think I'm gonna go.
Did you passion? You didn't passion. No.
I have not. Yeah, I didn't passion.
You had the chance.
I did, but it's a little early, and let's see. I split. If we're not getting our mounted bonus, then I just make 3. So I'm gonna go 20, and then on one, and then 3 on another.
Good.
20 and 3.
Major wound didn't. Major wound didn't even impact me.
What a god.
I mean, I think Acewin has literally been run through, right?
Yeah.
And passed out, but like I think Ada Downey is gonna have a chance to pull me out on my horse, so like I'm all right.
Sword.
Fuck me.
All right, this is your result 3, so you're beating that guy, and sword. You fail that one, and he passes against you.
Fails. Okay.
Don't bother doing damage against these guys. This is just more about how hurt do you get and how much do you CC, if that's okay with you all.
Sure.
That's 5d6 against you. That's 18, which hits your armor.
Past my armor.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. All right. So here's what happens. Good. Yeah. Horsemanship test for you, Orthrin. Actually, I think you just auto fail. I think the 40 just means you. I think the 40 meant you automatically fall off of your horse.
Yeah, that's another d6 damage.
Am I wrong there? I feel like you have to make maybe a roll. You took 6. What happens if you took 6 extra damage? Would that be bad? From falling?
What's that?
So I just realized after taking the 40 points of damage, and the 25 after, you probably would be falling off your horse, right?
That's what I just rolled the dex test for. So
so you don't take 6 extra damage. Hell yeah. So you're literally like your stirrups are keeping you in, but you are fucking.
I'm using the fucking spear through my chest to like prop
stabilize
me up against the pommel.
Yeah, honestly, it's not great. So yeah, this is sort of like the next round. Basically, Arthur has to fighting withdraw you all out of here. This was a mistake tonight or this morning. And you all come back.
You don't say, Arthur boy.
Yeah. To make matters worse here, so you're not doing great. We're going to move on to the night, where following this battle, the Saxons pursue Arthur to your camp, and you're going to be fighting at night for this next part of the montage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, you hope to God someone defends the fucking medical tent then.
Yeah,
again, right?
Downing. Well, I have like 4 vassal knights. I think one of them has got guard duty there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Well,
So sort of like
the problem is that it's basically a surprise attack at night, and you have 2 choices. Your choices here are like, do you try to do a fighting retreat and like get people back, or do you just say no? Like, I'm going. Like, do you? Or sorry, 3 choices really. Like, the sensible middle ground of fighting retreat, the just fucking flee the camp, fall back from people, or do you go forth into the fray?
Question.
This is
Would there be enough time between the battle and the pursuit for me to get first aid?
Yeah. This is 10 hours later.
I am not that far from not being unconscious.
Yeah, you can get first aid on
Yeah, so the first question then is what is the skill of the Chirurgeon?
Let's go with 17.
Okay. So for the first wound, success. For the second wound, so I get 2 successes. Each of them heals 1d4. I'm up.
Hell yeah! All right,
I'm fucking up. I'm at 11 hit points.
So I want to set the scene here for the Saxon fight. Right. It is pitch black. You're camping in the forest, right? Like you're not trying. Like this is as defensible as it gets. And they just come upon you. You all have really not a lot of choice of fighting in the dark. Like you're just fighting in the dark, which is a -10 modifier to your attacks, and obviously there's no chance of like setting up some sort of lance charge. You could like theoretically find your horse and fight on horseback if you wanted to, but you would be fighting on sword, right? So like you can kind of boldly attack here. You could do some sort of like fighting retreat, or like just gather everything and get the fuck out of here. And I leave it up to you all, except for Gorthrin. I don't think you're allowed to get the fuck out of here.
No, I don't think
with a valor of 20, you have to kind of like do one of the two.
No, he's basically gonna yell at get our stuff. Of course, we're fighting. We're fight our way to Arthur.
Ooh. Okay, hold on a second. Because I want to know what you do in this moment when the camp is being attacked and Rufus is calling for people to fall back, right? Mm-hmm. And obviously you're not.
Yeah.
Is it? I mean, do you want to say that you never crossed paths with Rufus and like you're just doing this, or do you want to like? Do you think like you would just kind of stare at him and like realize that you're doing what you want, or do you want to say something, like, you know what I mean? Like in this fight, like obviously the idea of decorum and stuff like that, of like following your Earl at this moment, is not necessarily a high priority. You're not going to lose honor or anything like that by, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just think it's a really interesting scene, right? Imagine it's like pitch black, like tents are catching fire. You hear the sounds of battle around, like several different horns are blaring. About for rallying, and like someone's saying rally, other people say retreat. You know what I mean? Like it's just a huge fucking mess.
And the King's banner or the King's tent?
No, you can't see it from your spot. No, you're definitely like off on like a wing or whatever of the camp. So like you have no idea. So yeah, what do you do?
I think that we need to our duty here is to protect the king. Like if the king is present, that sort of, to me, in my mind, that's like,
you go to the king.
Sorry, Earl. Like we're all here for the king. Like, why aren't you fighting your way towards the king?
Do you want to convince the Earl to turn around here in this moment? Because like the Earl's like, no, we get the fuck out of here.
If he says something, Gorthrin's gonna be like, my Earl, we have to protect the king.
Hell yeah! You want to fucking call on him? Do you want to like test? Like this isn't a passion, but you want to do loyalty?
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, I'll do loyalty. Yeah.
And I think it's going to be a test against his sense of like battle, which is not very high. We tie. Oh shit! We disarm each other rhetorically. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the problem here is that I think like rather than a tie and nothing happens, I think the situation gets worse. I think you both are going to suffer a barrage of like javelins, because those are like the first people that like find you all. And so I think he's just going to have to fucking get out of here, like with the fighting. So I'm going to roll 2 attacks,
Yeah.
Right? The first one's going to be against you. And these Javelineers have Javelineer at 15, but they have it's dark. So actually,
Yeah.
would you? I think I would rather do it almost like a. Can you test your dexterity? It's almost like a dexterity save. Instead, it's like an AOE effect, right? Of just like the wall of javelins. So I think would you might. Okay, so you're gonna take the damage from 36. Yeah. Sorry, one more d6. So the first one, so 11. Yeah, you're fine. It goes off your shield. And so that's fine. Same thing with the Earl. It's like so basically like there's no agreement, but the fight happens. And
but we're under pressure.
Exactly. So there's nothing's resolved there. So we'll deal with that later.
Yeah, I think like to me it sounds like we both mustered arguments that save our honor.
Yeah,
for
exactly.
Whatever it is that we have to do.
Yeah.
And Gorthman is like, my Earl, I have my
the wounded, the king. Yeah, like like we can't leave these people
under his war banner.
Yeah. No. You can't defend the king if you're dead. And like, what if Salisbury? And like, and like he's making the argument here of like, yeah, like, why would we just selfishly like do that? Like, we need to find a better spot, regroup somewhere else. Like, we just fighting when we don't know the situation is reckless, right?
Okay, how about this? Then if that's his argument, then Gorthman's going to go. Then I will find you. I will make sure the king gets to you.
Oh, dude, that's fucking awesome. That's fine. Then you wait here. I'm gonna go grab the fucking king.
Yeah. That's what I'm hearing. Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's so fucking awesome. And you just like storm off as like javelins are like falling all over you, like breaking over the treetops around you, just like ding off their shield. That's so sick, man.
Yeah. Gorthman's gonna head into camp to find Arthur.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Awesome. All right. Cool. So then you're gonna be charged by some spearmen on your way to Arthur.
So I'm sorry. I think I missed some context. Where is Acewin in all this?
You're in the medical tent. You were healing up, right? So like the medical tent's in camp.
Yeah, I'm up.
But you're not. Okay, so you were healed, right? Like you got stabbed. It was in the most Winterborn Gunnet of ways. It doesn't hit anything vital.
Yeah.
I swear.
So here's the thing.
You're not sure the physician is like not even sure you have organs. They're just gelatin.
This was my raids along the river, right? Gareth had that sucking chest wound from the Hearthganot.
Yeah.
This is Acewin's. But my hit points are now at 11. My unconscious is 8. So I'm up.
Yeah.
It just means that because a strenuous fight is aggravation 3, it means that even if I don't take any damage, I pass out after the battle.
Yeah. Which is probably why you're in the medical tent, right? Being like, you shouldn't do this kind of thing. But obviously everyone's kind of being okay, so two things are happening right now, right? First off, this shit's going down. And like, you're told like, don't leave this place, right? Like, like we're like, we'll get help. And then, that guy leaves and like tries to get like, is looking for like, what's his name? Not your squire, the other guy, Frumbus's son. And like Warani, and like your henchmen, right? Your followers, your entourage, yeah, right. Like to me, like like we'll protect you, and like other people are also in the medical tent and stuff like that. So like there's some people here, right? But then that's when your squire fucking shows up like a second later, right? And like drops you the fucking like chainmail and like spear, and sword and shield, being like let's fucking go, like your squire is like does not care, remember, like he loves dueling and he fucking hates Saxons. And he's like, I'm not sitting on the sidelines, my fucking knight is injured here, like suit up.
I'm not saying Acewin is throwing herself into the battle, but like she's geared up and is going to protect the camp if need be. She's not going to be in the medical tent when shit happens.
Oh yeah
Okay.
Good. Yeah, so shit's going down. Yeah, I just want to emphasize it is your squire who also like fucking brings you your shit, who's like defying the fucking doctors about doing this stuff, right? Yeah. About resting. Like, no, you're doing this. Hell yeah. Okay, great. So we can simulate some time goes on where you have to, you suit up and you're fine, right? And you're able to engage at night. So we fast forward through the boring part there after the scene in the movie of like, put like your squire helps you put on your shit, and you're gonna go wade into the fight as well. Would you mind doing me two things? Would you mind testing me valor?
Yep.
Because like getting out of the medical tent here and then like looking around, you realize like your knights are like some of your knights are wounded. In fact, good. All right. The difficulty here is that they're getting close to the medical tent, and like Warani has taken a bad wound to the leg.
Mm-hmm.
And like sees you, and he's like, I've never been happier to see you, my Ace-Win. And he's like, he's seen better days, as you all are getting ready to go fight against some axemen.
Yep, I think, yeah. I don't think it'd be dishonorable to be fighting defensively for all of these rounds.
Absolutely. And I think similarly for Gorthrin, you're like in the meat of it too. So you're also going to be fighting against these warriors.
Was I able to get a horse?
After you fucking like demonstrably, yeah. If you wanted to grab a horse, you definitely could have.
Yeah, he's gonna grab the first one he finds. He just wants the elevation.
Your camp and your pavilion, your horses aren't that far away, right? So like you grab your horse and exactly. You're able to get up there. But again, like you're in the woods, so like there's no charging or anything like that. But yeah, you can fight from horseback, right? For sure.
Even
for the plus 5.
Elevated, he can push through crowds if he needs to.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, absolutely. The crowd control aspect. Yeah. So this is completely disorganized. The way things are going. You two are like eventually going to get to each other, but there's going to be another round of combat between like the mix of before you all find each other in the next scene, right? So you're going to be fighting similar units. Just so you know, before you like, if you want to call on a passion or anything like that, you're going to be fighting against someone with 25 skill. Granted, everyone's fighting here with -10 because it's in the dark.
Right. So 15 effectively. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
These are also ransomable knights.
The loyalty board that I had
this
carry
is honor.
over.
Honor.
The loyalty test was just a skill test to see sort of like what it's like again, like what you're, you know what I mean?
Gotcha. Okay.
It wasn't actually a passion roll, so you could totally call on your loyalty if you wanted to. Hell yeah.
Sense of honor. We remain, baby.
Hell yeah.
And I really, the longer I play this game, the more I just am like passions. I don't know. All right.
They are the best and worst thing about the character.
They really are. Like I could use that plus 10, but man, there's a 15% chance he beefs it and just doesn't have it in him in this moment.
Yep.
That's the game.
Okay. All right. Let's see how this goes. The versus 25.
Correct. They're not passionate or anything like that. I won't do that to you. The reason why I'm telling you the skill right now is simply because so you can choose if you want a passion or not, right?
If you passion, essentially you wipe out the penalty of being in the dark, and then you're 20 against their 15, right?
Yeah.
And
but if not, then you're 5.
Yeah, that's because he's not going to run away.
No, it's 10. No, it'd be a 5. You're looking at either a skill 20 or a skill 5 if you roll passion. That's a toughie. I got nothing.
I mean, you could always just, if you fail it, you just auto defend, right?
Yeah. Let's see.
But you're still defending with the -5.
-5. All right.
And Colin, you're total defending, right?
Whatever happens, it won't be boring. So he's going to call upon his honor.
Oh yeah.
There we go.
Sick.
There we go.
Yep. You don't have to pass valor.
He did make a vow.
Yeah. Cool. Yep. Oh yeah. Right. That you're gonna find this game.
Love it. Okay. So trying to do the math. 16 becomes 6 becomes 16 again. I think that's all the modifiers.
You're okay. 16.
I was weirding myself. Oh,
you beat me.
Yeah. Fuck right. Yeah.
All right. So you get to do damage. These guys, they have 17. They have 12 armor.
Oh, I forgot the fight defensively bonus. So
Oh yeah, so
I'm
you want to
fine
do
actually.
damage to him? Yeah.
No. I didn't add the defensive bonus. That was a regular attack.
Oh yeah.
So
I
I'll
mean,
take the damage.
no, we already
Okay.
said you were defensively
Okay,
doing
yeah,
it, right?
that's
Like
fair. That's
even before you
fair.
rolled.
That's fair.
So that's fine. Yeah, so
fair.
you don't do any damage, but you're holding them back from the tents here, right? And yeah, fucking Gorthron just Sauroning his way through the fucking on his horse, right? What's name? Do you have a name for your horse?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
come
just-
on. That is the
What?
worst.
What?
Worst. What is that?
What?
1 4 2 1 3 2. Come on.
What? That was a crit, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, so
well.
it's-
That's I mean.
Oh,
that's,
did you roll twice?
Yeah, I'm rolling twice.
32.
Okay.
Mine's-
All right. That I thought you rolled
Still.
13 on your 20d6. I was like, I don't even know how you do that.
No.
Okay. 32. All right.
Yeah,
That's still
32.
respectable. That's respectful enough to successfully to cut your way through here. Okay. Yeah, so Jim Gorthrin is able to cut his way over. Now you have the choice here of going to the medical tent where you know where Acewin is here and stuff, or you can you at this point you caught glimpses of Excalibur's light, flashing through and hearing the thunderous smotes of Arthur on the other side of the battle here, and knowing that your friends are injured, would you change in this moment of passion of switching your goals to find Acewin, or would you go to Arthur?
I think he's eyes on Arthur. He's probably going to keep a lookout at the medical tent just to assess the situation as he passes by. But his oath was to
you rolled up
you could
loyalty.
you could
here,
you send Nesta go over there, and
something like that.
Yeah, right. I gotta go find Arthur. Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
that's awesome. All right. Yeah. So you're gonna find. Okay, cool. So I'm so glad you did that. So you find Arthur. And Acewin, you find Nesta, who's a sight, a sight for sore eyes, who's able to help you out, and you're doing that defensive fighting thing, and you see Nesta come in there and jab through the soldier behind you as a kind of surprise, and it's a good sign to see you. Yeah, Gorthrin sends his best.
Does Gorthrin need my help?
No. No, I just want to make sure that you're okay. And so you got your work cut out for you. I need to go back to fighting, and this is sort of during a sword fight thing, right? Yeah. So Gorthrin, cool. So you're gonna be part of this moment. In the confusion of this night, Arthur and some of his retinue come across some of the Saxon commanders. So you're going to be able to fight some of the generals, the marshal of this sort of raid here.
Leaps in over the fire.
Yeah,
on his force.
Hell fucking yeah, dude. So we have to do this sort of the combat. Acewin's part is sort of narrative and getting the glory here, but since you're part of this Saxon commander killing part here, actually, I think in the interest of time here, we're just gonna you're part of this, so you're gonna get an extra glory here. I'm gonna call the battle there as a decisive victory for the raid. You all are going to gain 2 Librum of goods, which, I mean, cool. Each of you is going to gain 15 glory for the 3 rounds, so 45 glory total. And then Gorthrin, you're going to earn another 45 glory on top of that for the slaying of the Saxon commanders who get killed. However, during that fight, King Colgrin, from the sort of that leadership group, is able to throw some people in the way and get away. And so him and a couple of people escape back to Epicurum, again, the capital city.
Yeah.
Which is where we we'll set the next stage of this trifecta of battles. It's the only reason why I'm zooming through this thing is because this is supposed to be a bunch of fucking battles. Right.
Yeah.
So
this is the night raid.
Exactly.
Not the main show. Yeah.
Right. So after dawn comes and there's some time of rest, Arthur is resolved to siege Epicurum. Right, Epicurum is where the rest of the soldiers retreated to. It is the capital of Malahut. It is it is everything. So basically, on the map here, you fought around the Abbey of Beal, right? Because you're basically coming up through Lindsay, and now you're we cut to Pocklington, right, where you're setting up your camp here. You can see the walls of Malahut, old stone. Like it's Roman fortifications, right? Like this shit's gonna be impossible to breach without siege weapons, and you don't have siege weapons. You didn't bring siege weapons with you. Remember, like you YOLO'd yourself out of Easter, right? So you don't really have anything. And Arthur is so mad, but he's like, no, we have to fucking take the city. You know, I demand it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be the next round here. Okay.
They siege without infantry or siege engines.
Yep.
All right.
So you know this isn't going to go well, but Arthur demands it anyways. Okay. In the morning.
I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
In the morning, Cornwall skirmishes actually with King Baldulf. And unfortunately, the young king of Cornwall is unable to capture King Baldulf as well. And so the early morning skirmish against the troops that are trying to get into Epicurum the retreating action is enough to hold back, and most of his forces make it inside the city. So he sadly reports, and that's sort of another major driving factor for this battle is Arthur's mad that we weren't able to even get one of the kings or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So he orders a charge on the walls and gates, sans any siege equipment.
Mm-hmm.
2 questions.
Yeah.
1, how long has it been? And 2, would I have the opportunity?
So first date. Yeah. So
well,
the healing rate.
Healing rate, but more important than that is whether someone can do surgery on me, because without surgery, I'm still in an unhealthy state, which means that I not only.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a good question. Yeah. You're part of the medical 10, so yes.
Yeah. Not mortal.
The fact that you've still fought and held your own, there was like no risk to the medical 10 or anything like that, so I imagine the children's are okay. I'm just gonna roll a d20, and on a 20, they're not okay. Yeah, you're fine.
Okay, so I'm gonna roll, because if I get the surgery, then I will once
no
more
longer take the aggravated thing, right?
Yes, and also I will not be unconscious.
Oh yeah, well, that's
also again, important. By fighting at the end of the fight, I just passed out.
Yeah,
unconscious. Yeah.
Well.
Okay, so successful chirurgy.
Yeah.
Chirurgy. And that does 2 things for me. 1, it means that the effects, I'm not going to deteriorate, and the effects of aggravating my wound are not as bad. Good. So I'm at 12 hit points. I can take 4 damage.
Yeah.
I no longer have the major wound. And fighting will only deteriorate me 1 hit point per fight.
All right.
Awesome. You love to see it.
Yeah, love to see it.
So, get ready for Arthur's charge here. You're charging the walls of Epicurum.
So we don't have a ram or a.
Nope. You pretty much have to go to the gate and just kind of circle around. Yeah, no, this is bad.
Yeah.
Like, this is real bad.
Is he like, what is, like, okay. Yeah, all right.
Again, Arthur right now is very emotional about this.
Is anybody able to talk to him? Like, what do the marshals think? What do the generals think?
He was originally like setting up orders for siege equipment and stuff like that, but after Cornwall basically wasn't able, like he lost, like basically he assumes Cornwall's like hard fight ambush in this morning after fighting all night isn't enough for him, right? That he's so mad at this that he wants to just fucking charge the city. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And yeah, so you all are going to basically go on a terrible run.
Yeah,
that's if you want, like. Yeah. So I don't think there's a lot of convincing him here. I think it's very much.
Say if we even have access to him, we're not in his inner circle. We're not.
No. Exactly. He's doing this, and so like everyone here has to do it, right? And so you all are going to suffer the slings and arrows as you basically are going to charge this wall and obviously not going to be able to do anything to it as you run away.
Right, yeah.
So basically, you all have to just basically suffer and endure 2 sets of arrows, right?
Yes.
Being shot at you from the walls as you are just charging them and then circling away because you can't do anything.
Fuck.
So
I just talked Arthur up to these fucking Byzantium knights. This is not a good look.
The Byzantine guy's not here though, for what's worth.
I know, but like,
all right.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, so we're having to face 2 2 attacks.
And I think to color the scene, there's a moment where there's another messenger who's trying to get Arthur's attention and does not, and Arthur just fucking chews this guy out, right? And like you're kind of like second or third next to talk to him. You're like, oh, this is not gonna work. You know what I mean? And that's when you just slink away. And the guy's like, sir, but we've heard reports of, and you're like, I don't want to fucking hear it. If it's not about Epicurum, where are my fucking siege engines? Let's go. You know, this was, you know, I made a promise that we'd be home by Christmas. And so
never promise Christmas.
Never promise Christmas.
Never
Listen,
promise
if you're ever
time of year it is.
He's young. If you're ever in a position of power and wielding armed forces, never promise to be home by Christmas. I don't care how guaranteed it is. Never do it. Never do it. Just don't do it. Just don't do it.
Bet on Hillfolk. Never promise Christmas.
Bet on Hillfolk always.
Bet on Hillfolk. Never.
Are we having 2 arrow attacks like at the same time? Or we have to split our attacks?
No, thankfully, no. You're just gonna have to suffer 2 rounds of this,
okay,
right?
Gotcha.
So basically, the way I'm going to do it is, again, I think you're going to just test horsemanship.
Okay.
Horseman. If you pass horsemanship, then you use your armor, right? It's kind of how it's going to work.
Okay. Fuck me.
Oh shit, dude! Colin.
First one.
Oh my god. Okay.
Salisbury solidarity, man.
All right. Yeah. So I mean, you're just gonna suffer 3d. Each of you is gonna suffer 3d6 points of damage because it's just arrows, right?
Oh,
so.
Yeah. So it literally can't get through.
8. Yeah.
It's still got to be terrifying for a Downey to watch their knight who was like literally unable to wake up last night, waking up on Sunday being like, get me in the holes, and it's just riding and just arrows appearing in their
yeah. And effectively, the end of the siege here is that or the end of this fight is a siege that he cannot, like, it's not like they open the gates after seeing you all charge this thing or anything like that. It's like these people are in there fucking laughing and tormenting. He's like, and Arthur's like, fine, we're gonna fucking siege him, right?
Yeah,
like for real.
What are they gonna do? They can't come out.
So, and Arthur is what I like to call big mad at this situation. All right. He is just like real upset. Guinevere's trying to console him, and he's like, where the fuck's Merlin? Why is this nothing going my way? Why do they have to show up here? And you can tell he's upset for he realizes his overconfidence did this to him. B, he realizes that this was, Excalibur isn't just the I win button. 3, and perhaps even like this is 3, but actually should have been 1. It's just the loss of life related to these mistakes is bearing to him, right? So Arthur is committed to building a siege, but that is short-lived. As the messenger that he chewed out earlier after the fight here, as him wanting to set up for a siege, finally gets Arthur will listen to him and says that there's been reports of a new king arriving from the south, King Chedrus, another Saxon. And he's like, I can't fucking do this. He's like, I'm fucking getting out of here.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically Saxon reinforcements. So Arthur will break the siege as it's getting set up and being like, we gotta go.
Yeah, we can't get encircled.
Yeah. So there will be no more battle for that. Each of you will gain 15 glory for the charge on the walls of Epicurum.
The ill-fated charge.
Yeah.
Charge.
That's not
the walls
to a settlement with
No.
cavalry force.
Yeah. Now I know I want to do the big party and going away for Cholderton. But I'd rather do that at the start of next session as sort of like a feast kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
yeah. There's
there
some
is
other stuff he wanted to do. He wanted to have like a last game with Myth kind of.
hell yeah.
You know.
There's another thing I need to bring up here.
Yeah.
And that is Warani. Warani will
Yes.
succumb to his wounds in the fall. You have options to proceed.
Okay.
Basically, he was getting healed, but it was an infection that did him in.
Yeah,
This is actually he rolled a 1 on his survival stuff. And I rolled it was combat, and it actually worked out pretty well. But you can either hire a knight to sit on the land, or have someone else that you know as a friend or something, basically sit on the land until Karadig comes of age. Karadig being his son, he's 7 years old.
Yeah.
You can you can pay for Karadig's training yourself, and so he can still be in the Squire program, right?
Mm-hmm.
But also give that land away to a new knight, right? Because this remember, vassals, like, this isn't in his name in perpetuity. It goes back to you,
right?
Which,
and I have the choice.
Yeah.
This is very much the situation I got in with Sir Aaron, right, son of the old one-handed knight.
Yeah. With this kid, yeah,
same situation.
Mm-hmm.
Family tradition. I'm gonna take care of the kid. Okay. I can afford it. Right. I got 2 Libram from that first fight, right? So like, why the fuck not?
The option, the third option would be just don't pay for the kids squiring either, and just let them languish into obscurity.
Oh my god, no.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Or something else that you think of, right? I'm not saying that. I typically, when I present multiple choice things, again, like, there's always the hidden fourth option, which is I'm not a cop. Whatever you want to do, right? Yeah. But I also tend to think, like, I try to, like, anticipate the obvious ones here, so that to kind of jumpstart the thinking process, because I know we play kind of fast and loose sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so hopefully it's helpful. So you want to hire a knight and continue to pay for Karadig's training, and this knight would basically be like, because you owe the Lord a knight for those lands, right? The 40 days of service.
Right. I figure I can just use one of my household knights for
that. Correct.
Yeah.
You could just they just get to live there as a knight.
Exactly.
Right. Basically, like a what do you call it? Regent, almost, right? Basically, just you're subletting this thing from Karadig's.
Yeah.
Right. Karadig technically owns it, but you're paying for the upkeep of the other guy and the upkeep of his son in Squire School.
Exactly.
Cool. All right. So that's
yeah, absolutely.
All right. So you don't have to hire a new knight or anything like that. You're just gonna use a household.
Yep. I mean, Ewain's still alive.
Yeah.
I could have my aunt take care of it.
Well, Urain's already sworn to a different land, though, like to Waterford or whatever, right?
Yeah, never mind.
Well, hang on. Ewain would do it because Ewain's getting up in years, and like Wolfius is gonna kind of take over that anyways, right? Like Wolfius has 2 spots anyways, so like, but like Wolfius can handle it if you want Ewain. So I wouldn't say no if you want that, because that would be also an interesting scene.
That's fine.
Okay.
I don't need Ewain.
All right.
I have household knights. I'll use them. This is what I did with Gareth after Alder's Gap as well. Like, it sucked that I basically wasn't getting the revenue because a household knight doesn't really know how to fucking take care of a manor.
Precisely.
C'est la vie, c'est la guerre.
Right. And then I have one more thing for you, Acewin.
Okay.
So after this fight and sort of like returning home, you found that Adownwi, your squire, you found that he sort of accrued a little bit of like a following of a couple admirers, and of which includes a rich widow, Sir Catrin.
Okay, I'm gonna drive her off because he's 16.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Good.
You can think about that later, young man.
All right. That's awesome. He's going to resent you because that was a ticket to a rich life, and you just threw it away. And she was willing to wait for him, and
if she was willing to wait for him, then she will fucking wait.
Yeah. All right. But yeah, he's basically has a small little following of fans of men and women swooning for him.
I gotta fucking break this kid of his pride.
Yeah, he's definitely got a lot of pride.
He's so willful. He's getting up there.
And the fact
shitty.
And the fact that, like, you know, like when he tells the story of how he showed up to your medical tent after you got kebabbed and like gives you your armor and stuff like that, just like swoon, you know, kind of thing. Like he just has that sort of panache to him. So
yeah, I mean, Acewin is going to be like, if she hears him telling stories like that, it's gonna be like, yeah, of course. He also brings me my chamber pot when I need to piss in the night. Like,
just sucking the wind out of him.
Yeah, it's good to be proud of what you do, but also remember your station, Squire.
Yeah, and like he does, like, he's not gonna fight you on that. He's not smart, you know. He's not dumb enough to fight you on that. You know what I mean? Like he's wise enough to back off, and he just has to take the L on those ones. Mm-hmm. But when you're not there, though, you know, that's back when the wheels go,
everywhere.
Right? Yeah, he's
everywhere.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So Bruggen is also you know, very, despite not reclaiming the heirloom or anything like that, you know, he like he has nothing but great things to say to you, buddy. Gorthrin, he is amazed and how you stood up. In fact, and he's learned that you know, you weren't afraid to speak back to the Earl.
Yeah.
Listen,
Gorthrin is resolved to just sort of like, not like show the Earl like in a humiliating way, but just be like, listen, I'm gonna be who I am. You can draw me into your circle if you want, but I'm not gonna be different.
Yeah. And that's so fucking good, because he but I think what Bruggen wants to know particularly is like, Gorthrin, you know, would you have done that if you didn't have, you know, your castle, if you were just a Children?
Of course. Even more reason to do it then, because I might get a castle out of it.
Defy the Earl for valor and glory is not just because you're brave and already rewarded, but because of a chance of being rewarded. Yeah, and Bruggen's gonna like take that to heart, right? And take that to measure. You know, his valor goes up listening, you know, your logic there.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Cool. Then we will finish the fall and winter next session.
Sweet.
Real quick, just auditing Battle of Humber, 45 glory. The night raid by the Saxons, how much glory for that? Or was there no glory because it was us getting our shit kicked in?
No, you should have gotten
2 rounds.
2 rounds. 10 glory for the spearman, 8 glory for the javelin, and 15 glory for the axeman people. So the first round for the so the javelins didn't go to you though. They went to Gorthrin. Right.
I don't get the javelins.
Yeah. So you're getting a grand total of Acewin gets 25 and Gorthrin gets I thought 45 plus 45.
Yeah, I had 90 for Gorthrin's.
All right, I mismathed. So the three total add up to 45. I don't know what I said. But yeah, that's the point.
Got it. Okay.
And then the 15, and then an extra 15 charging the walls.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Correct,
okay.
Correct.
This sheet is miscalculating, and it's worrying me.
Oh.
Yeah, I've had to do several audits. A few times to like recalculate everything.
Yeah, like it just went 6161 plus 25, and it says 6201. That's
not right.
That's not right. And then I just put in 0 for new glory, and it gave me plus 10. So I'm gonna have to audit this manually, I think, and that sucks. But
oof. Yeah. Well, you have the list of everything at least, so.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
I can do this, and I just put in 15, and it added 0. I don't know what the fuck is up with
this. That's wild.
It sounds like it's off by 1, like it's like adding the wrong row.
Yeah.
It's got to be. It does not like when you reorder stuff.
Yeah, Oh yeah, no, that's definitely what's going on. Yeah, it thinks numbers are it's the problem is that it's probably cached some numbers in certain spots, even though you change them, and so it's adding numbers that don't exist anymore.
Yeah, so I gotta delete this whole fucking thing
Oh,
to get it back. Okay,
all right.
there we go. All right, let's see if I go from there and do 16.
Fucking Pendragon, yo.
Man,
Fun
I
stuff.
love it.
Fixed. Okay. When you reorder, you can't have a total in there already because that just fucks it up.
That
Yeah.
just fucks it up. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's fixed now, and it looks just at a glance the numbers are right. It's just I reordered some stuff and it just started getting wonky, but all good.
Awesome. Okay. Is there any final things we wanted to do? Because I know we want to start next with the party for Cholderton and the Born. So
Yeah.
we'll handle that next session. Gorthrin, you're gonna get reports that Cholderton's bees are extra lively and good, and that you're gonna have reduced fate and stuff like that over there.
Sweet.
Yeah,
that and move and like just moving into Till's head and covering
exactly.
all that was what I was.
Yeah, and we will
Figured that's a
cover
quick
that.
pace thing.
Yeah, we will cover that next session. I kind of skipped that in favor of trying to get through the battle. I foolishly thought I could get through the whole year today, but we have ran out of time.
That's right. We don't need. I don't know. And rushing it.
Yeah. Okay then. So I don't think we'll be back next Monday, but we will be here in 2 weeks. And if you're
2
watching
weeks?
this on YouTube, it doesn't matter. You just hit next. Correct. I will be on vacation to Portland next Monday. I think. Yeah. 100%.
Nice.
That's the 2nd. So the 9th is when we come back.
When are we coming back?
The 9th? August 9th?
I will be returning from San Diego.
I see. Okay. Then we will be back in a couple of weeks then, because we have one more week, and then I'm in Ireland. So
Yep.
Okay.
all right then.
Cool.
All right then. So there you go. I'm trying to speed run it. Fell a little short. Okay. Just so you know, I'll know. So we'll be back in 2 weeks. So thank you all, and this will have to suffice for then. Thank you, Zever, and thank you everyone who comes over here and watches this game and loves this game as much as we do. It means a lot to us.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
It really does. Really does.
Yeah. All right. Take care, everyone.